What's your go-to joke when someone says, "Tell me a joke"? What's a pirate say when he turns 80? "I am 80. A limbo dancer walks into a bar. Gets disqualified. I'm addicted to drinking brake fluid. But I can stop anytime. What do you call a French man wearing sandals? Philippe Fallopi. Knock knock. Who's there? To. Who? Ahem. To whom? English teachers love this one. Drill sergeant. Private. I didn't see you at camouflage drills today. Private. Thank you, sir. A pirate walks into a bar. The bartender asks, "Is that a steering wheel in your pants?" The pirate responds, "It's driving me nuts." The Dalai Lama walks into a pizza shop and says, "Can you make me one with everything?" Was told by an Australian news anchor to the actual Dalai Lama, and it's been my go-to ever since. Why does the Little Mermaid wear seashells? Because she's too big for bee shells. Why did the partially blind man fall down the well? He couldn't see that well. Yesterday I bought a pair of shoes from my drug dealer. I don't know what he laced them with, but I've been tripping all day. What state serves the smallest drinks? Minnesota. What did the drummer name his daughters? Anna 1, Anna 2. I went to the saddest wedding this past week. So sad that the cake was in tears. What's the difference between a good joke and a bad joke timing? Well, I'd tell you the one about Jonestown. But the punchline is too long. Edit. Thanks for the silver. This one's a little NSFW. A man goes to the doctor for a checkup. The doctor tells him, "You need to stop masturbating." The man says, "Really? Why?" The doctor says, "Because I'm trying to examine you." Clean. What do you call an alligator wearing a vest? An investigator. Dirty. What's the difference between a garbanzo bean and a chickpea? I've never paid $300 to have a garbanzo bean in my mouth. I went to a beekeeper to get 12 bees. He counted and gave me 13. Sir, you gave me an extra. That's a freebie. Edit. A lay sheet. Feeling all the love right, meow. Let's all plant some wildflowers for our friends. I'm writing a book about falling downstairs. It's a step-by-step guide. A Freudian psychoanalyst walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Sorry, we don't serve Freudian psychoanalysts here." The Freudian psychoanalyst says, "Motherfucker. I recently bought a new toilet brush. Don't like it. I'm going back to paper." What did the grape say when he got stepped on? Nothing. But he let out a little whine. What's the best thing about Switzerland? I don't know. But the flag is a big plus. I just got my ticket to the Fibonacci convention. ... I hear this year is going to be as big as the last two put together. Two atoms are hanging out. One says to the other, "I think I lost an electron." The other says, "Are you sure?" The first replies, "Of course. I'm positive." A grandpa and grandson are fishing. The grandpa takes out a pack of cigars and starts smoking one. The grandson goes, "Grandpa, can I have one?" Grandpa says, "Can your dick touch your butt?" Grandson says, "No." So grandpa says, "Then you can't have my cigars." Fast forward a year and they're fishing again. Grandpa takes out a bottle of whiskey and starts drinking. The grandson asks, "Grandpa, can I have a drink?" Grandpa goes, "Can your dick touch your butt?" The grandson goes, "As a matter of fact, Grandpa, yes it can." So grandpa says, "Well then go fuck yourself, this is my whiskey." Two scientists walk into a bar. The bartender says, "What can I get ya?" The first scientist says, "I'll have an H2O. The second scientist says, "I'll have an H2O. 2. The second scientist died. What's yellow and can't swim? A school bus. Have you heard the one about the 3 holes in the ground? Well. What's worse than biting into an apple and finding a worm? When 3 people have sex. It's called a threesome. When 2 people have sex. It's called a twosome. Now I understand why they call you handsome. 3 guy friends are taking a walk. Guy 1 says, "Hey. Did you know 1/3 men are gay?" Guy 2 says, "I hope it's Guy 3 because I think he's cute." What do you get when you cross an insomniac? An agnostic and a dyslexic. Someone who lays awake all night wondering whether there is or isn't a dog. So a penguin was driving down the road on his way into town. All of a sudden his car breaks down. So he takes it to the penguin mechanic. The mechanic says it will take a few hours to diagnose and he should walk around town for a while. So the penguin walks around and finds an ice cream shop. He gets his favorite vanilla ice cream cone. Because he is a penguin with stupid penguin flippers, it gets all over his flippers and face. The penguin returns back to the mechanic and asks if he knows what is wrong with his car. The mechanic looks over and says, "It looks like you blew a seal." Two peanuts were walking down the street. One was assaulted. Did you hear there was a kidnapping at the local school? It's okay. The kid woke up. An Irishman, a Scot, and an Englishman order a beer at a pub. A fly lands in each of their drinks. Englishman orders a new beer. The Irishman shrugs and drinks it anyway. The Scot grabs the fly by the wings and yells, "Spit it out, you wee bastard." What did the janitor say when he jumped out of the closet? Supplies. What's the average temperature of a tauntaun? Lukewarm. So this guy goes to his doctor and says, "Doctor, you've got to help me, I'm having these awful silent farts. In fact, there's one right now." The doctor says, "Well, first of all, you're going deaf." What's the difference between a disgusting transport center that's covered in grime and dirt and a lobster with a boob job? One's a crusty bus station. And the other is a busty crustacean. Ask me if the abominable snowman has called. What do you call a fly with no wings? A walk. What did one snowman say to the other? Do you smell carrots? Two men walk into a bar. The third ducks. How did the double agent cross the road? He didn't. He was never really on our side. Mickey Mouse is in court because he's trying to divorce Minnie Mouse. The judge looks over the paperwork. And then looks down at Mickey. He says to him, "Mickey, it says here that you want to divorce Minnie Mouse because she's mentally ill. But I want to remind you before we proceed that on your wedding day you promised to love her in both sickness and health." So Mickey Mouse says, "But Your Honor, I didn't say she was crazy. I said she was fucking goofy." If you can do the last line in an even halfway decent Mickey Mouse voice, this joke absolutely murders. How do anarchists stay in shape? Resistance training. Did you hear about the chameleon who couldn't change his colors? He had erectile dysfunction. One day 3 old ladies were sitting on a park bench. A man wearing nothing but a coat walked past and flashed them. 2 of the ladies had a stroke. The third one couldn't reach. Did you hear the one about the 2 gay Irishmen? This one requires a butt of acting accents to make it funnier. A world-famous Spanish magician was about to retire. At his last show he tells the crowd, "As this is my last show, I will perform the greatest trick known to mankind. I will disappear before your very eyes." The crowd gasps with delight and there is thunderous applause. He dons a beautiful reed cloak and says, "On the count of 3. Here you start moving your arms as if flourishing a cloak. Uno. Wave cloak. Dos. Wave cloak." Then poof, he disappeared. Without a trace. A chicken and an egg are laying in bed together and the chicken is smoking a cigarette. The egg says, "Well, I guess we answered that question." 2 psychics meet on the street. First one says to the second one, "You're doing fantastic. How am I?" 2 toothpicks are going up a hill and are really struggling. Suddenly a hedgehog passes them. The left toothpick turns to the right one and says, "Man, I didn't know there is a bus going up here."